What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Hey, I want y'all to stop being surprised when you see somebody uh, transform and do a 180 when it comes to money. Um, Out of the 100% of the population that exists and anybody that's working in business, um, I feel like at least half, and I don't have to be right, but I just feel like at least half of the people, and that's a high number. 50% of anything, half anything is pretty formidable. I feel like half the people out there would flip everything they stand on or everything they claim to stand on if the dollar amount is right. Is right to them. If they see a number that um, pleases them, pleases the eye, I feel like a lot of people would transform and move off of the positions that they claim they stand on. We see this happen a lot in politics, where there's a guy who, man, he was a Democrat all these years, and then all of a sudden, his interests sway based on an umbrella that he finds himself up under that may be more beneficial to him from a financial standpoint, or even from a positional standpoint, where you may get another bump up in status or whatever. Um, you see it all the time. You see it in entertainment. You see people who are standing on certain principles in music and in their arts, and when that dollar amount comes, now all of a sudden their message becomes either watered down or that message just vanishes altogether, and the fan base is left, the supporters are left um, not understanding. We left just bewildered and baffled and not understanding why this change took place, unless you understand why the change took place. Um, Money is the key for a lot of people. Now, that's what makes those individuals who will not sell out, who will not abandon um, right principles for a dollar amount. That's what makes those individuals so special, and that's what makes them so important to us as a community, us as a society, and the people around the world. And those are the people who will be um, remembered on the right side of history. History contains um, two sides definitely, but possibly three, because you could be on the right side of history, you could be on the wrong side of history, and you could be just in the abyss of no one cares because you didn't make a move in either direction. But it takes a lot for an individual to um, stand on their principles when somebody's trying to buy them out. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people who have been tempted. See, being tempted and actually following through um, are not the same thing. Tempted just means you thought about it. You say, "Ooh, you considered, you start weighing pros and cons." But then um, your better self and your better morals got the best of you and won out in the end, and you was like, nah, you know. And you think about more than just yourself when that money is dangling in front of you. And the people who, that's where the word sellout comes from. The people who sell out, they don't look at the totality. They don't look. They just think about, hey, man, I'm forget this money. I'm thinking about this lifestyle change that's gonna um, immediately happen for me. And you leave those who have rolled with you and fought with you and believed on what you were saying. You leave those people just dangling, just leave them just out in the ocean, just dog paddling. But in the end, it doesn't usually work out for the person who runs and gets the money. Man, more times than not, man, it's hard for me to really think of a lot of occasions where um, the sellout ended up riding off into the sunset unscathed. Usually that boomerang comes back around and pops them in the back of the head at some point because, um, you know, I just feel like dirty money has a way of manifesting certain results to people who knew that the money was dirty and by the means in which they got the money. And don't get me wrong, man. We live in a world where all money is dirty. Like, I don't want y'all to think that, we just run around here stupid. You know, any the source of the majority of the money that we get and that we put our hands on, it's dirty, but it's about what you do with it. It's about what you do with it and how you use the money for good instead of using money for the wrong things. So the choice has to be made, you know. And a lot of people will say what they would or would not do when they are not in the position or they are not faced with the question, with the legitimate situation and scenario of would you do this and would you do that? Oh man, I would never, boy, if that was me, if I was in that position, I would never do that. Yeah, but when you see all them zeros behind that number, then we'll see, how strong you stand. I don't believe that certain money is worth just selling out. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that at all, man. And people don't always believe me when I had these kind of conversations. We had these kind of conversations in debates all the time. Man, you crazy, man. You know good and well you would do this. You know you would, man. People that I'll be like, nah, I wouldn't do it. Man, you crazy. Man. But a lot of times people don't know how you built. A lot of times people don't know what you stand on, and a lot of times people don't. They're not able to see the big picture. They're not able to see the macrocosm. They kind of live in a microcosm, and that's okay. But it's up to us to make them understand the trickle down effect and the long term ramifications of any one of us who have a little steam behind us, a little power behind us. Any one of us selling out and going the wrong way behind some money or letting somebody quiet us for money. See, because the money is not always, a lot of times they will give you money just to make you um, suppress your message, water down or tone down your message. It's not even done in a openly or a noticeable threatening way. It's like this will pacify him. This will um, make him docile. He won't be so militant. He won't be so extreme now because he got this. He can kind of fall into this little cushy lifestyle now. But the problem is the one who writes that check will slice your neck. The one who writes your check will slice your neck in the long run because if a day does come where you kind of come to your senses and realize, man, this ain't enough, or not this ain't enough, but some people do say this ain't enough. And they say, oh man, this ain't what I'm about. This ain't what I really stand on, And you let them know, or you start rebelling against it, then they feel like you betrayed them. So they have a problem when you betrayed them, but they had no problem when they paid you to betray your people. Take the air quotes down. To betray your people. So, hey man, think on that anytime you may be in that position in your life, whether it be in the entertainment industry, politics, sports, or just on your regular 9-to-5 job, because we're faced with those kind of situations all the time. And people would turn on friends, family, children, dogs, neighbors, and every other category you can check off for that used to be almighty dollar. Alright man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I will catch y'all a little bit later on. Peace.